Well, hello there, my good faithful YouTube viewers and listeners. It is the Jerbear. Today's date is Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. Thanks for stopping by and indulging me for a little while. So, there's something that's been bothering me since yesterday. So I wouldn't even consider this a rant, more like unpacking my feelings and emotions about or at least my thoughts on what I'm thinking and feeling, and something's been really eating away at me since yesterday, and I wanted to talk about that. I'm kind of feeling down and out, even still today. I was really depressed yesterday. So the reason for the depression is because of the fact that I found out that a cancer warrior that I had been keeping in contact for a while, at least when I was on Facebook, she passed away on March 12th. And I just found out yesterday. So she's been gone for over 2 weeks. And I just found out yesterday that she had passed away. She was in the hospital for about 50 days. And she got to come home, but I had no idea of her condition. Like, I didn't know if, I didn't know what the circumstances were surrounding her coming home or why she passed away, although she was a cancer warrior. So I don't have information in front of me, so I can't elaborate on that too much. But what I can elaborate on is the fact that, and I want to emphasize before I continue on, that I have no ill will towards this family. I harbor no resentment towards this family. I have no hatred towards this family. I love this family since the day we started speaking, and so I want to make that known. And maybe perhaps I'll emphasize that point throughout the remainder of this daily rant. Although, like I said, it's not a rant. But I am hurt by the fact that no one got in touch with me. No one emailed me or texted me and said, hey, this person passed away. We thought we would just let you know, just in case you don't, or just in case you haven't heard. That didn't happen. I had to wait until yesterday to find out that she's been gone for over 2 weeks. And I also want to emphasize that I'm not trying to use the death of this warrior, or any warrior for that matter, as a crutch for anything. I know a lot of people like to do that. They like to use the deaths of cancer warriors as a crutch for popularity and attention and all that useless, pointless bullshit that doesn't mean anything. I'm not using the warrior's death as a crutch, but the thing that kind of hurts me the most is the fact that no one got a hold of me. No one got in touch with me. No one said, hey, this person passed away on the 12th. We know that you had communications with this warrior, which I did. We were friends on Facebook when I was on Facebook, and I used to write letters to her. I had a gift sent to her. And we were really, I thought we were just, good friends, and we would, continue on speaking. And then, of course, there was that point where she was in the hospital. But I guess the only thing that really bothers me the most is the fact that no one reached out to me. No one got in touch with me. And it's like, well, we're all a circle of friends here. And at some point, you should have known that this warrior and I had kept in touch. Like, we knew each other, or at least we had spoken to one another. Someone should have, reached out, emailed me, texted me, whatever. Someone should have gotten in touch with me immediately to let me know that this warrior passed away, and that didn't happen. Now, this is the second time this has happened where I don't find out about the deaths of warriors until weeks or even months later. And it's upsetting in a sense because, like I said, I had communications with these warriors. I knew who they were. I had spoken with their parents. And before I left Facebook, I had deliberately given them my contact information so they could reach out to me to let me know what was going on with the Warriors. That's basically the reason why I give anybody from the Child of Cancer world my email address or my cell phone number, so we can keep in contact, so we can keep the communication open. Because if I'm not on Facebook, that's going to make things a little more difficult, which it shouldn't. Technically, it shouldn't. But undoubtedly, for some unknown reason, it has. And the fact that no one could email me or text me and say, hey, I'm sorry to tell you this, but this warrior had passed away on March 12th, and we know that you kept in contact with them, and you knew who they were, and we figured we'd let you know. That didn't happen. I'm not angry or upset with the family. I'm not, harboring any resentment or ill will towards the family. But I'm just hurt that, no one could reach out to me and let me know. And of course, the family, they're still grieving, and I'm not gonna hold that against them, because there's no time limit on grieving, and I'm not gonna, like I usually would call someone out by name. That is, if they say or do something that really angers me or infuriates me. That's not the case here, because I have no intentions or ill will against them, or evil intentions, I should say. I just wish that someone would have at least contacted me somehow, some way. Most people know that I have this YouTube channel. Most people know that I have a cell phone, and they know my number, and most people know that I have an email address. I'm not a hard person to find. And so I'm just kind of sitting here scratching my head, and I'm thinking to myself, I understand that it's a crazy time, and especially the family. Your head isn't in the right place. And I understand that 100%. Because you're not thinking straight, you're not thinking clearly, you're trying to process everything going on, you're trying to digest everything going on. So that I understand. I'm not saying that, if someone dies, you have to tell me. That's not what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to answer to me. But as a friend, even if it was maybe, the next day or a couple days later, someone could have told me. And not even necessarily the family, maybe a friend of the family or someone who was a mutual friend of the warrior and myself. They could have passed along the message that this warrior had passed away. That didn't happen. It didn't happen. And now I'm sitting here today. Maybe I'm overthinking this too much, but it's kind of instinctual now. Like, where do I stand in the priorities of these people? I'm curious. And I don't want to think that. I don't want to think that people are purposely avoiding me, because I really and truly, I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're purposely avoiding me or, ignoring me on purpose. I don't think that's the case at all. But it's like someone who we were mutual friends with, someone should have been able to contact me and to, just to at least say, hey, she passed away. We wanted to let you know. The parents aren't in the greatest mental state or condition to be reaching out to people to tell them that their daughter died, which I totally and completely would have understood. And I still would understand it, even now. But it's just the fact that didn't happen. And it's been over 2 weeks, and I just found out yesterday that, hey, my daughter died, and it's like, well, Jesus Christ, why couldn't anybody fucking tell me? When I read the email, my heart sank into my gut, and it was her mom that emailed me, and I appreciate her emailing me, and she did apologize. She says, I'm sorry to have to tell you this through email. which I understand. Like I said, the family's still grieving, and I don't hold that against them. I can't. I just can't do that. I can't hold that against them because they need time to process and grieve, which there is an unlimited time with grief. You take all the fucking time in the world that you need. But I didn't hear from anybody. And it's kind of shitty when you have to find out weeks or even months later that, yeah, there's a reason why these warriors don't reach out to you anymore. It's because they passed away. Well, fucking news to me, And it does sound like I'm angrier or, harboring resentment towards the family. That's not the case. I promise you. I don't harbor resentment or ill will towards anybody's families, especially when they've sustained such a horrible loss. But I just wish someone would have had enough guff to text me or email me to let me know that, hey, she's gone now. Funeral arrangements are such and such, although there's no way I would have been able to make it, but still, it's just the idea. A little Wilms warrior had passed away back in, let's see, what date was that? Just a second, I'll get a date for you here. Okay, this little Wilms warrior, he passed away in February. I found out he died on February 11th. I found out the following day that he died. And I think it was his mother who texted me and said, I'm sorry to tell you this, but we lost him last night. Now that, because we were very close, and I think we're still good friends. I haven't heard from them in a while. I've made attempts to contact them via text message and email. No response. I'm just going to assume that the grieving is still heavy, which perhaps it will be for a very long time, and it'll never go away. Yeah, I respect that. I really respect that. But at least I found out the next day, the following day, they wanted to make sure that I knew that the little Wilms warrior was gone. Because, the kid loved me, I loved the kid. He, sweet little guy, and it's really a shame when children die from this disease. And I had talked about that in another, I think it was a daily rant or maybe a Sunday video update. I think it was this week. I don't remember. The only thing I remember was I did speak about this to the point where all of you could hear it. But I'm really, I'm hurt that no one told me, but I'm heartbroken that she passed away. I mean, I'm sad and heartbroken when any child dies from cancer because, I don't think I need to really get into that detail, but for those of you who are new to my channel or just listening for the first time, I am a childhood cancer survivor, and survivor guilt is a real thing. That's not just a play on words. It's not just a crutch for attention or whatever the case may be. That's real. It's very fucking real. And when I found out yesterday that this warrior had passed away on March 12th, again, survivor guilt through the fucking roof. I'm still feeling it today. I mean, it's like, how could this have happened? I don't understand it. Maybe perhaps I'll never understand it. But I'm still a little sad from yesterday. I mean, I appreciate her mom reaching out to me via email and letting me know that her daughter passed away. I mean, I'm glad that I found out before, months had passed by. But nonetheless, I mean, it's been over a couple weeks, and I'm still trying to process all of this myself. I didn't know she was sick. I didn't know why they let her home from the hospital. I'm not sure the circumstances. I'm not even going to bother to elaborate on any of that because I don't want to give any inaccurate information. So I'll just leave that sit where it is. But I can only tell you how I feel about it. And yes, I am a little hurt that no one thought of me enough to actually tell me that she passed away. Someone could have said, hey, Jared, I know that you were friends with this warrior. I know that you interacted when you were on Facebook. I'm sorry to tell you, man, she passed away yesterday or a couple days ago. That would have been fine if someone, even if it wasn't directly coming from her family, a mutual friend of ours could have told me. Instead, all I get is an excuse. Excuses after excuses after excuses of why I never hear from anybody. There's always some bullshit reason or excuse. And I'm not saying that her family, her parents, didn't have legitimate reasons for not contacting anyone. As I pointed out, they're still trying to process and digest this huge loss. And I'm not holding that against them. But again, on the flip side of that coin, we have mutual friends. One of those people could have at least reached out and said, hey, we know that you were friends with this girl who had cancer. We regret to inform you that she passed away. Someone could have fucking done that and they didn't. And that's the part that hurts. That I had to find out 17 days after the fact. 17 days, over 2 weeks. I don't even harbor resentment towards the mutual friends, to be honest with you. Because I'm not like aggressively pissed or angry at those people. I'm just hurt that no one could actually take the time to say, you know what, Jared was friends with her, we gotta let him know. Nope, that didn't happen. Didn't fucking happen. And here I am talking about it. I'm not whining, I'm not complaining. But at some point, to some degree, I'm really hurt by it. And just say that, the Warriors in a better place, yada, yada, yada. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's entirely true, if they're in a better place. Because that's all I ever fucking hear, is that they're in a better place. Well, what about being healthy or curing these kids and allowing them to live and be healthy? I would argue that this here, with us, life, this planet, I would argue that this is the better place. Now, if we're going to talk about, well, they're not in pain anymore, sure. Death would be the ultimate healing in this case. And I won't argue that. But I don't think that they're in a better place in a cold grave. I don't. I used to hear that all the time when I was a kid. When a relative would pass away, a loved one would die. Oh, well, no, Jared, son, they're in a far better place than we are. No, now that I'm older, I don't think that way. My mind doesn't go to that platitude. Well, let's just throw it on the wall because we know it's going to resonate and stick with people's hearts and their heads. That's not how my brain works anymore. My mind is entirely different. I process things differently now. But in any event, the pain is still real. The pain will last a lifetime. The pain fucking hurts. Big time, that's why it's pain. The pain is quite real. And it's something that's undeniable. And the only way I can get beyond it is to talk about it. And so that's why I'm here today in this Daily Rant recording, talking about how hurt I am that no one got in touch with me to let me know. I'm not angry or frustrated, and I'm not seeking to attack anyone in this particular daily rant. I'm not trying to attack anyone. That's not my shtick here today. But rest assured, there will be future daily rant recordings where I'll be calling people out by name. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Because I'm just that son of a bitch who doesn't care. But in this case, I mean, I'm not interested in attacking anyone, not verbally or viciously or anything like that. I'm not looking to destroy anyone. But I am hurting, you know. Emotionally, I'm hurt. I'm heartbroken that this warrior had passed away. I thought she was doing so great, you know. I had even sent her a letter. I'd written her a letter, like right after she got out of the hospital. Congratulated her on coming home, and you know, I always hope that my letters are finding the warriors doing well and smiling and being happy, but I'm not there, so all I can do is wonder, or at least hope, that the letters that I write to these warriors and send to the warriors will at least cheer them up and put a smile on their face, make them happy, make them glow. Just to know that someone cares. You know, it's not all about the popularity and the fame, if you will. It's not all about the popularity. Some of us out here actually give a fuck about individuals as they are. People. People over popularity. You know, like in the childhood cancer world when everybody's holding up their signs and waving flags at Cure Fest, bitching up a storm. We should prioritize people over money. Well, I don't want to hear that coming from you people anymore, because if you're going to prioritize popularity over people, don't get angry when the government prioritizes money over people, because you're no different in that regard. And yeah, for the record, I wish the government would prioritize people over money. But we know that's not the case. We know that's not the case. But anyway, guys, I think this is going to be a short daily rant. Although, again, like I said, no rant. I'm not here to rant about anything or anyone, but I am hurt by the fact that, you know, I have to find out weeks and months later that someone very dear to my heart had passed away. And I just don't think it's fair. I think, you know, it sucks being on the back burner, being at the very bottom of a person's list of priorities. I'm at the very fucking bottom of it. It sucks. But you know, what can I do? Just pick myself up and move on, like I always do. But anyway, folks, yeah, I've been here for almost 25 minutes. I'm gonna cut this one short, and I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. There'll be more content to come soon, so much love, peace out, and toodaloo.